What if you woke up tomorrow and saw an extra $500,000 or even $5 million sitting in your bank account? Would you know exactly what to do? Because here's the brutal truth. Most people who suddenly get rich end up broke again in less than 5 years. Lottery winners, athletes, entrepreneurs who sell their businesses, even people who receive big inheritances. They all face the same problem. Money doesn't come with a manual. And that's why today, we're going to change that. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do with sudden wealth, step by step, so you can keep it, grow it, and never stress about money again. But stay with me until the end, because I'm going to share the one thing almost no one does. Yet it's the reason some people stay rich forever. Let's get into it. First things first, stop everything. Don't quit your job. Don't buy a house. Don't tell everyone you know. Sudden wealth is emotional. It makes people feel invincible. But when your emotions run the show, your money runs out the door. The smartest thing you can do in the first 48 hours is nothing. Just breathe. Let it sink in. And then start thinking like a long-term investor, not a lottery winner. The next move, assemble your financial dream team. This means hiring 3 key people: a fiduciary financial advisor, a tax strategist, and a lawyer. Not your cousin's friend who knows about crypto. I mean professionals with experience managing wealth. They'll help you avoid the traps that destroy fortunes: overspending, bad investments, and most dangerous of all, tax mistakes. Speaking of taxes, sudden money usually comes with sudden taxes. Inheritances, lottery wins, stock options. Depending on where you live, they can be taxed hard. If you don't plan for that up front, you could lose 30%, 40%, or even more without realizing it. A good tax advisor will help you structure your wealth so you legally pay the minimum and avoid nasty surprises. Then, once your team is in place and you've understood your tax situation, it's time to do the most counterintuitive thing. Park the money. Yes, really. Don't invest it right away. Don't go shopping. Put it somewhere safe, like a high-yield savings account or a short-term treasury fund, while you build your long-term strategy. Think of this as your cooling-off period. Wealth is like fire. It can warm your life or burn everything down. The difference is how you use it. And that brings us to the mindset shift you must make. Stop thinking like someone who got rich and start thinking like someone who stays rich. Now that you've taken a breath, protected your money, and built your financial team, it's time to start thinking long-term. Because sudden wealth is not just about numbers, it's about behavior. Let's talk about lifestyle inflation, because this is where even the smartest people sabotage themselves without noticing. When a large sum hits your account, your brain starts firing off fantasies. The new car, the house upgrade, first-class tickets, luxury everything. It feels exciting, empowering, like you finally made it. But here's the trap. Once your lifestyle goes up, it rarely goes back down. You get used to $500 dinners, designer clothes, and 5-star trips. It becomes the new normal. The problem? Your wealth might be temporary, but your new expenses won't be. And that's why this next move is crucial. Design a personal spending framework. I'm not talking about a tight, restrictive budget. I'm talking about a system that lets you enjoy your wealth and preserve it. Start by dividing your money into 3 mental buckets: freedom, growth, and enjoyment. Your freedom bucket covers your essentials: a safe home, healthcare, emergency savings. Your growth bucket is for building wealth: investments, education, business opportunities. And the enjoyment bucket? That's where you give yourself permission to indulge, guilt-free. Maybe you allocate 5% or 10% of your windfall to this bucket. Enough to feel it, enough to celebrate, but not enough to destroy your future. The goal is balance. Celebrate the win, but protect the engine. Now, here's something almost no one does, but every wealthy person should. Pay yourself a salary, even if you're already a millionaire. It might sound strange, but this is how wealth lasts. Don't live off the principal. Don't treat your lump sum like a checking account. Instead, set up your investments to generate monthly or quarterly income. That income becomes your paycheck. That paycheck funds your life. This mindset shift changes everything. It turns your money into an asset that works for you instead of something you slowly consume. That's how legacies are built. From there, you need to ask a deeper question. What does this money mean to you? Because wealth without clarity becomes chaos. Do you want freedom from your job? A safer future for your family? The power to travel, create, give back? Or maybe you want to start your own business, build something meaningful, change your community. Whatever it is, define it. Because your vision gives your money direction. Without a clear why, it's easy to drift, and even easier to lose it all. That's why the next move is one most people overlook, but it's non-negotiable. Invest in your financial education. You don't need to become a Wall Street analyst, but you do need to understand how money works. Learn the basics: compound interest, diversification, the difference between assets and liabilities, how inflation silently eats your wealth. Understand the tools: index funds, ETFs, real estate, cash flow, tax-advantaged accounts. Read the books, ask smart questions, hire people who explain, not just manage. Because when you understand your wealth, you own it. And ownership is the foundation of lasting freedom. But even with all of this in place, there's one final danger. One that's often invisible at first. And it doesn't come from markets or taxes or spending. It comes from people. When you suddenly come into money, you don't just gain wealth, you gain attention. And sometimes that attention is the most dangerous part. Because here's what no one tells you. Money changes your relationships. People might start treating you differently. Some will admire you, others will resent you. And a few will come out of nowhere. Long-lost friends, distant relatives, old contacts, asking for help, loans, or just a little support to get back on their feet. You want to be generous, of course you do. But here's the truth. Saying yes to everyone is the fastest way to lose what you've built. That's why you need boundaries. Establish clear rules about what you will and won't do with your money. And most importantly, stick to them. You're not responsible for saving everyone. You're responsible for using your wealth wisely. If you do want to give, do it intentionally. Set up a giving plan, maybe even a donor-advised fund. That way you stay in control and your generosity becomes structured, not reactive. And speaking of control, one of the smartest moves you can make is creating a long-term financial blueprint. Not just for today, for the next 10, 20, even 50 years. Where do you want to be in 5 years? How much passive income do you want by then? What lifestyle do you want to afford without touching your principal? Create a plan that your future self will thank you for. This is where your financial advisor becomes a long-term partner, not just a one-time hire. You'll look at investment allocations, risk tolerance, estate planning, tax optimization. You'll build not just wealth, but structure. And once that's in place, you can focus on what matters most. Designing a life of freedom. Because real wealth isn't just having money. It's having time, choice, peace of mind. It's being able to walk away from what drains you and walk toward what excites you. It's being able to say no to noise and yes to what aligns. And that brings us to the final, most overlooked move of all. Protect your wealth through mindset. This isn't just about numbers. It's about how you think, how you act, how you see yourself. Do you see yourself as someone who got lucky? Or someone who is now a steward of opportunity? That mental shift makes all the difference. Because the truth is, sudden wealth is not a finish line, it's a starting point. It's the beginning of a new financial identity. One where your choices, not just your income, shape your future. So let's wrap this up. You now have a blueprint. Protect your emotions, build your team, park your money, create a spending plan, invest wisely, educate yourself, set boundaries, and live with intention. If you follow this path, you won't just stay rich. You'll build a legacy. If you found this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe for more real-world money strategies. And let me know in the comments, what would you do if you suddenly got rich? The sooner you get smart with money, the sooner money starts working for you.